to the 47th. I have a list. Did you know that? To the 47th episode of the Have Aloha Will Travel podcast. I actually did have a lisp as a kid, and the kids at school would make fun of me about it. Starting this holly jolly episode off on a high note, I'm your co-host, Kevin Allen, with me as always, right down there.
Catherine Fox. We're with HONOLULU Magazine, and we have a special. Also, we're festive, except for Kevin, because Kevin's never festive.
I don't have any festive clothing.
We have like our annual Christmas guest. We can say that now.
Yeah, she's 2 times in a row in Christmas time. Katrina Valcourt, managing editor of HONOLULU Magazine. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Wait, show us your shirt.
My Christmas sweater. Yeah. Alpaca. Got a scarf as well.
Oh, wow.
Years ago. It's a Christmas thing.
Is that an alpaca or a llama? Do you know?
Oh, we've been over this so many times and I can never read. I forget. I think there's something to do with the ears that distinguishes them, and one is like fluffier. I think llamas have more of this, like.
They have a fro.
Yeah. It's like a fro and a bowl cut at the same time.
That is unfortunate.
Alpacas are just like generally fluffy.
You know, I feel like when we had an office to be in, you two would always be the kind of Christmas duo. I feel like you guys like Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you guys always came around in your, how many Christmas sweaters do you guys both have? Just one.
I have, well, I think now I've amassed maybe 5 different, like, outfit tops or sweaters or shirts or whatever for Christmas.
My goodness. That is 5 more than I have. That's for sure. It's too hot. Yeah, I cannot believe you guys are wearing sweaters right now.
If we were in the office, though, it would be like 30 degrees. So, I mean, it works out.
They keep it cold, but we're not. And I'm sweating, and I'm wearing a very loose t-shirt. So that's kind of where we are right now. Christmas in Hawaii, I feel like that's kind of like, you know, we like to do like, what is Christmas like in Hawaii? And I think one of the things is like, there's a lot of like festive, like cold Christmas, like a mood going on, but it's also like 95 degrees and really humid. There's no escaping it, the heat. Kat, why do you look so bored? You know we're recording, right? You gotta kind of.
Oh, I know.
Do you have
I 100% know.
Did you hike this morning?
Do I like Christmas?
Did you hike this morning?
Oh, yeah, I did. That's not why. I was just thinking about Christmas today and what makes it so unique in Hawaii. And I think the fact that we don't have snow. So Landon, my son, he's always asking about snow. Like, is it going to snow? I'm like, no, it doesn't snow in Hawaii. But like to him, because he sees so much imagery of Christmas, right, with Santa and reindeer and snow, like he can't understand why it doesn't look that way here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that is what makes it unique. I mean, I spent Christmas once in Australia, and that was weird.
Oh, is it?
Because it is summer.
Oh.
Yeah. And they like everything about Christmas there is the same. So they have Santa wearing like fur and the red suit and everything, and like Santa would never wear that. So at least we are in winter. Like this is
technically wintertime. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in Australia, it's like there's summer. It's so weird. Anyway.
Katrina, do you know of any fake snow events happening in Honolulu this year? Because that's a big thing, right? Where they do like they get like the fake snow, or I guess it's like a real snow blower, and they take ice and they give the kids fake snow.
There's different things you can use to make fake snow. Like sometimes I think it is straight up ice. Other times it's different stuff. Like for example, I think it's Ice Cube Hawaii is doing a like build your own snowman kit where you literally 5 pounds of like ice or snow to make a little snowman.
5 pounds?
Yeah, it's like when I was reading about it yesterday or the day before, I was like, this sounds like a little bit much. Depending on, I guess, who you give it to, because my niece is 2, and I was thinking, like, is this something that she's not that coordinated yet, so I don't think she'd really be able to build something before it completely melted.
I was gonna say, you're on a real time limit, right? If you're doing that here.
Yeah, so it might be more for old kids or adults. there's definitely Christmassy stuff still happening. A lot of Christmas stuff is generally family based here. I think when there's the big snow or the ice snow to play with. HONOLULUFamily.com keeps a list of Christmassy events. Obviously, things are a little bit different this year because you can't gather and have big events with a lot of people, but there is still stuff happening. It's more geared toward, like, I think the lights this year, because that's something that you can definitely see from a distance, and it's not so interactive. And there are still other ways to celebrate, like at the Christmas bar.
Yeah.
It is weird in Hawaii because it's like we want it to be Christmas so bad the same way that in other places.
Yeah, definitely.
Like surfing Santa and stuff, so it's a little different. But yeah, it's funny to see how we kind of struggle with it every year, just to try so hard to do it the way that so many other places have done it.
They didn't do a surfing Santa this year, did they?
Ooh. I don't think so.
Because that would create like a crowd, right? Because they all crowd around the beach to watch him come in.
Right. But
in a canoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He normally comes in an outrigger. Yeah, right. I didn't see any stories about that this year.
Well, what's weird about the whole crowd thing is like, so this is what I kind of don't understand. By the way, Ice Cube Hawaii, I do have their kit. I still haven't built the snowman. It's in my freezer, the 5 pounds of ice. It really is 5 pounds. We're going to do it today. But they're donating proceeds to Make-A-Wish Hawaii, which this kind of, I think that's their big selling point too. And anyway, but the Honolulu City Lights is confusing to me. So there's no events around it. So there's no like Jingle Bell Run or any kind of like light parade or whatever. And you can't go in and see the Christmas trees, which I don't even know if they have them displayed. But the displays outside are still there. They're set up, right? Kevin, you wrote a story. And you can go and walk around.
Yep.
But I know, I don't understand, because that is the crowd.
Yeah.
That is what brings the crowd. I don't really know how, having the events, I get it, but like, how are they going to figure out that is where the crowd, I don't get it. I'm confused.
It's interesting. They're actually doing a trolley, or Waikiki Trolley is doing like a trolley ride around Honolulu Hale and the city lights. I think they do two loops around the ornaments. That seems like a cool way, but I feel like that kind of is tough because you can't actually like get out and take your picture with the ornaments. I think you're pretty much on the trolley the entire time, listening to Christmas music and hearing Christmas stories. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I have you guys been around there? Have you seen how big the crowds have gotten? Because I think all the ornaments are up already.
They just went up. They went up recently. Like, they brought them. They always bring them and then they do the big thing. So I don't know if, in general, people have gone before when they first go up just to see them and be done. Because it depends on what you really want from it. Because I go pretty much every year. And sometimes not until after Christmas, which is totally different. Even though all the decorations are the same, it just doesn't feel the same if you're going on like January 1st. That's usually when they take it down. But yeah, I don't know, because honestly, most of the decorations are the same each year. Like, you're always going to see Shaka Santa, like they have masks this year, but not a lot of the other sculptures and things change.
Yeah.
So, like, if you do the trolley tour or you just drive through, which sometimes that's all we've done. We didn't want to deal with parking. We would just drive through downtown. Because even on like Queen Street and stuff, you can see decorations up. So I don't really leave the house at night very often these days because I'm not really going out. So I haven't seen what it's like. But I'm hopeful that it's just, you don't stand in lines to take pictures with things. I don't know if they've reduced the number of decorations because they're very big. So you could definitely see them when you're driving by.
And have you... Speaking of crowds and going out, so have you gone to the new Christmas pop-up bar?
I have. So it's only open until Christmas Eve. So that's why it's kind of like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I kept thinking back and forth, like, I don't really like going into restaurants and closed spaces and stuff. Mostly, I do a couple times. I've gone to a couple media events and stuff, and I try to space it out. But for the Christmas bar, this is the third time that they're having it. They had it the first year at Ala Moana. I think we talked about this probably last year too. They had it at the old Magnolia Bakery spot the first year, and then they took a year off. And then last year it was in the old Big City Diner at Ward, right below the theaters.
And where is
that
it
was
now?
great. It's like a big restaurant space. This year, it always comes up. It's like, surprise, we're open. I never know in advance.
It's a pop-up. They're popping up.
It was right around Thanksgiving. It's in Bloomingdale's at Oʻahu this year.
Oh, okay.
And I had been there before. I'd never been to Bloomingdale's. I had never been to the restaurant that used to be in that spot. It's where 40 Carats used to be. And it's a small, kind of hidden spot. If you're not purposely going there, you probably won't stumble across it, which is actually really nice right now because, again, I don't really want to be near crowds of people and things. But it's great because it's technically a restaurant because, you go in, you have to order food.
Oh, do you?
Sit down. Yeah, it's not like the first bar. My God, it was so busy. You have to go order your drink, and then for the most part, you're stuck standing, which is great in a bar because you don't have to wait for a seat. You can just, as long as you can buy your drink, you're good. But no, this year, I'm not sure exactly how many tables, probably like 10 or fewer. They can seat 5 or fewer people. You have to order a food item. There's a few things to choose from. And they do have some of the same drinks and stuff that they did last year. So it's great. They said they only decorated in like 4 days. So like, forgive them if it's, not up to par or whatever. And I walk in, I'm like, this place is nuts. There's ornaments hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
There's wearing a sequin dress and a Santa hat up above that I didn't even notice for the first like 20 minutes that I was there.
Oh, wow. What are some of the new drinks? Do they have new drinks on the menu?
So I'm not sure if I should say this. I think I can because you'll have to do some work to figure it out. But there's a secret menu this year. And I'm not going to tell you how to figure it out. One of the...
That's very secret.
Yeah, so we were getting ready to leave, actually, and one of the head elves, Michael, came over, and he's been there every year. It's the team behind Tiki's in Waikiki, if you've been there before. It's a great restaurant up there on the 3rd floor, I think, 2nd or 3rd floor. It's the same people. So he came over and he told us a riddle. And you have to solve the riddle and then find another clue. And then that will lead you to the menu.
Oh,
Too much
wow.
work.
It's a lot of work. I couldn't do it. So
no, not inebriated either. That's terrible. No, too much work.
I feel like they should tell you right when you go in, when you're like sober and, able to solve riddles.
They might, but then that's not much of a secret menu if you just find out right off the bat. There's got to be a little bit of work. So it is fun. You can go on this little hunt to try to figure it out. Some of the girls waiting to go into the bar were helping us out. So
really?
we were able to figure it out. And it's a shame, though, because we were leaving. So it's great because it gives me an excuse to go back.
Oh, so they've got do they have their new drinks on that secret menu, or are there new drinks on the not secret menu, the menu?
The existing I didn't compare it with last year's one exactly, but I'm pretty sure they're very similar. It's kind of like a spiked hot chocolate. I really like the Cosmopolitan. It's got cranberries and vodka, I think, are the main things in it.
I like the name. That's a good pun. That's
always super fun. That's half the fun.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, do you know?
But like, I can do that at home, So I go for the cool different ones.
Do you know of any other? And you're kind of our you've got the pulse of Honolulu, managing editor of Honolulu Magazine. Do you know of any other like interesting pop-up kind of Christmas events happening on Oahu or around the islands, or something in lieu of like the Christmas bar stuff that's really only around kind of during the holiday season?
There's not a ton of like.
I know this year is probably kind of weird.
Yeah, like there's certain things like Christmassy themed things, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot of new things coming up, and a lot of the events have either postponed them, canceled them, or tried to adapt. But at the same time, it's like you want to hold the annual stuff that's super fun, but you also want to keep the community safe. So.
Yeah, definitely. Is Mariah Carey's not coming, is she?
Not right now. But perhaps that was supposed to happen in like March or May or something.
March, I think so.
Yeah, it was supposed to be her like Christmas special.
Yeah, and then it got moved to Christmas, and then now it's just TBA. It's got to be interesting, especially with like taking kids to go see Santa. Kat, I think we talked a little bit about this a couple of days ago. Santa's behind like a plexiglass wall now, and like you cannot sit on Santa's lap. Like, what is that like?
No, Santa's like a super spreader when you think about it. I mean,
absolutely.
God. Yeah, so it's nice because I don't want to sit on Santa's lap. So I mean, it all works out. And if I were Santa, I don't want all these kids like touching me and Anyway, so I think it's good. It doesn't have the same feel because part of the experience is the kid gets to talk to Santa, and when there's a plexiglass, it makes it a little difficult. So like London was yelling like Santa, Santa, and then Santa was really soft spoken. The one that we went to at Kahala Mall, he's a little soft spoken, and so London was like, I can't hear you. Like it just. It was a little bit of a thing, but there's a bench and they wipe it down after every kid, and you sit in front of it and Santa leans forward and the pictures come out like it's like here on like near Santa, but
it kind of looks like Santa's in jail.
No, but it's just a glass in front. It's not like the Pope. He's not in like the Pope mobile. You know what I mean? He's fine.
In prison when you're separated by the glass.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, like when you're like talking to them over the phone. Yeah, they should do that. They should get like a phone.
They should have the phone.
Like that down in between every kid. It's a lot.
That is a lot.
No, it'd be good.
I mean,
it's a good idea. Anyway.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Yeah, that's interesting. I know, like a lot of malls around the islands are doing like Santa stuff, but they all have their own like, some of them are just social distancing. Others have big plexiglass kind of like blocking Santa from the kids. I mean, was Landon still like super excited though to see Santa?
I think he thinks Santa is an occupation.
Oh, interesting.
So he doesn't think of like that's the real Santa. I think he thinks like the UPS guy and our mailman, they're like all Santas. They're all Santa people.
Huh.
Because he noticed last year that the Santa who came to their school, and that's not happening anymore, was different from the Santa he saw at the mall.
Oh.
And he knew that because they looked different. And I think he just doesn't think they're the same. Plus, he's like, isn't Santa supposed to be like working? Like, what is he doing at the mall? Like, he's already kind of figured this out.
Your kid's a little too smart for Santa.
Yeah, you should see him with Elf on the Shelf. He does not buy it at all. He was 3 when I brought out the Elf on the Shelf, and he's like, no.
Katrina, how did your childhood get ruined when you learned that Santa wasn't real?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember believing in Santa.
Oh wow, is that not a Canadian thing?
Sure it is.
They're the closest to the North Pole. Speaking of Canadian things, look what I have.
You have that just like prepared so that you could show it. You're not even going to eat it.
You guys have to explain this to the audio people because there are people who listen to our podcast without video.
I am going to eat it.
What is that, Kat? What is that? You have to explain what you're doing.
Well, she's eating. I'll tell you. Yeah. So I brought this over on Saturday, by the way, and today is Friday, and I feel like this is the first time I've actually eaten it. Every day I was like, did you eat that? Did you eat that? Did you eat that? It's like my third sleep, and I'm waiting for my husband.
That's my third bar.
That's good.
What is she eating?
Okay, so it's a Nanaimo bar. I'm from Canada, British Columbia, so there's a place called Nanaimo, which is not where I'm from. But Nanaimo bars are they're kind of all over the west coast. Even when I went to, it looks amazing. Even when I went to Oregon, there were bakeries with Nanaimo bars. I'm like, wow, it's trickling down the west coast a little bit.
Sorry, can you say that slower? What is that? Nanaimo?
Nanaimo.
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 What's in a Nanaimo bar?
So the traditional one, there are the 3 layers. The bottom layer is kind of like a brownie, but it's normally made with shredded coconut, almonds, graham crackers, butter, and egg. And you basically just melt that together, press that in the first layer. I don't use coconut. I don't like coconut. Kat doesn't like coconut. It's one of the only things I tolerate coconut in when I buy it from a legit store in Canada or something, because I love Nanaimo bars so much. The second layer is like a custardy layer, so it's got custard powder, which I don't think is a thing too much in the United States, but you can use vanilla pudding mix. So it's that and heavy cream and more butter, I think, is that layer. Oh, and powdered sugar. So you mix it all together, and it when you refrigerate it, so it kind of hardens into a nice middle layer. To make it Christmassy this year, I swapped out the heavy cream for eggnog.
Oh, cute.
Really good.
I was licking the bowl and the beaters and everything because I gave them all to Kat. I'm going to make some more this weekend for myself. And then the top layer is straight up melted chocolate. And the best way to make it spreadable is to add butter.
Oh.
A lot of butter.
So it's mostly butter. Short answer, mostly butter. But yeah, you keep it in the fridge. That was a decent sized bar that you cut, which is great. That's the size that I eat. But I feel like when I brought it to the office, people will take a sliver and they're like, it's good. I'm like, how are you not totally in love with this and raving over it?
So is this specifically like a Christmas thing to eat? And
No.
Oh no, this is just like all the time whenever's.
It's all the time, and you can get different flavors and stuff. Like I've had maple ones, I think, or like caramel swirled into the chocolate on the top.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard because I want to experiment with them a little bit, but I also don't make them super often, and I just love the just normal version of it. So putting in the eggnog this year was a special thing, but yeah, no, I love Nanaimo bars. Because I always bake around I bake throughout the year anyway, but around the holidays, I try to do it early since everyone bakes Christmas cookies like the week of Christmas, and then you have 4 dozen cookies that you can't eat. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna bake early, get these out there, eat the whole thing before anyone gives you like gingerbread cookies.
What do you guys have any other like Christmas holiday traditions? This episode will be going up pretty close to Christmas, so if you also just want to throw in what your Christmas plans are, feel free to.
Well, it's interesting because again, like doing Christmas as a family versus as an adult, I think are pretty different. Like last year, I think we talked about I had gone ice skating with my friends, gone to full Christmas bars and that kind of thing. And we have like office Christmas parties and stuff like that. Whereas this year, you know, the friends are not all coming home for the holidays like they normally would, all the ones who moved away. So I'm not going to be hanging out with people as much in that way. But it's fun because, we normally have like a Christmas brunch. There was also no Christmas parade this year. There's normally one that goes by right outside my house. But it was canceled this year because, again, lots of people were. But we normally will have presents and stuff in the morning, have brunch together, spend the afternoon on the phone with family in other places in the world, usually calling my aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff, have dinner with the family, kind of just like play with all our new gifts, even when they're not toys. It's like, I'm going to try on my new clothes. I'm going to like organize my stuff. I got this organizer.
That's exciting. Yeah.
And my niece is 2 this year. My niece is only 2 years old. And so before it was kind of like, does she know Christmas is happening? She just wants to take a nap. She gets upset when you're unwrapping things, so she's distracted. But I think she probably knows a little bit more this year, so that'll be kind of fun.
Do you guys open your presents in the morning, like Christmas morning kind?
Oh yeah. I finally, like when I was a kid, of course, it's like I am awake and I'm ready to open gifts.
Yeah.
And I would just often be like, let's go. And then as an adult, I'm like, I'm not waking up at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Even 8. Just tell me when people are ready. And we normally will have like cinnamon buns and coffee. Then we'll open gifts. Then have a full brunch. So I will probably make some French toast, something for brunch.
Oh, that sounds very pleasant. Kat, what do you got going on?
I have a kid.
So you're going to be up at 3 a.m. Well, you're always up at 3 a.m.
I'm up. I usually surf on Christmas morning, which I haven't been doing. Well, have I been doing that? Maybe I still have been doing that. And I wear like my Santa hat and paddle out. So
that's fun.
Does it get wet?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Have you ever lost a hat?
Or my antlers. Huh?
Have you ever lost a hat?
No.
Wow.
You'll find out on Tuesday, Kevin, when we go out. I rarely get my hair wet.
Oh.
That's my goal, never get my hair wet. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just a goal. I don't know. Just have the goals.
Yeah.
Anyway, so probably we'll do the beach or we'll go hiking in the morning, open presents. And usually it's just like Katrina, we would see family, but we're not going to see family. So it'll be just low key at the house, opening stuff. As much as I love Christmas, and I do, everything comes down on Christmas Day. Like the tree.
No.
Oh, yeah. Ornament. Yes. Oh, yeah. Everything is, because Christmas morning, it's over. Christmas is done. So everything comes down. So we're going to do that and vacuum and clean up. And then there's nothing.
That sounds, your Christmas sounds terrible, Kat. You like rip down Christmas on Christmas Day?
Do you have a real tree or a fake tree?
A real tree.
So you full on like chop it up and throw it out on Christmas. That's like the least Christmassy thing.
Well, I guess, let me think. Yeah, I think so. Well, it depends. See, if we were going to do like a real Christmas with family, then we would have people over, right?
Yeah.
And then we pick up and then the next day it's gone. But like this year, I was just like, who cares? Like, just take the tree down. No one's coming over. So we'll see. I might wait till the 26th.
I feel like that's...
It's not about other people. It's about the joy that it brings to you. Apparently not.
You know, I'm kind of agreeing with Kat in a weird way. Like, I feel like it's almost worse to, like, cling on to Christmas, you know, after Christmas is over. Because you know it's over. Like,
it's over.
It's over. Like, you know you're not going to get another one until next year.
I don't like clutter. So, like, I want it out. You know what I mean? I want to vacuum and clean up and...
You're telling me my Christmas tree takes up half of my studio apartment.
I was going to ask that one. Is it real or fake?
It's real. We got like a 6-foot Christmas tree, and we had to do a lot of rearranging to get it to fit.
Do you have like ornaments in it, like your own like? Christmas?
Oh yeah,
we
that's a funny question. We asked it this last week.
Sorry, I figured you probably already did, but I'm curious. I haven't talked to you. So
yeah, no, we have stockings. I can show you my
stockings. They had a little like craft night where they made.
It was really
stockings.
cute. Here, I'll show you guys my Christmas tree. Oh, hold on.
By the way, you don't have any like Christmassy outfits or whatever, and you're over here like, I made my own stocking.
There it is. It's big.
Oh yeah, you moved like.
And that's a big present right there. That's for my girlfriend Kyla.
I know what that is, and that's also my coffee table.
That is your coffee table. It's a great coffee table. I use it every day. I put my feet up on it.
Great. Glad it's useful.
Yeah.
I feel like holidays, it's always leading up to the holiday, and for it to be just over it's too much. Like there's such a long lead up that you need like a
well, at least
But I start celebrating Christmas the day after Thanksgiving. That's when I get my tree.
Like with Halloween and stuff, I'm watching scary movies leading up to Halloween, and then I'm like, all right, I'm in the scary mood. I'm going to keep doing this. So Halloween for me still goes to like mid-November.
For me, Christmas goes on until New Year's Eve or New Year's. Then it's really over. And then I've probably burned my tree at that point. So, you know, that's Christmas being over for me, is watching my Christmas tree go up in flames on some beach and being like, yep, it's over.
That's a good tradition.
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal.
Well, I'll just edit that part out. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
I mean, you can leave it in. I don't think it's legal.
Is it illegal?
You're not supposed to burn anything on the beach. You know, you can't even burn stuff, period.
No.
Without a permit, I think.
I can't burn anything, period, without a permit?
I know what kinds of things you're burning, and that is also illegal unless you have a license for it.
I'm not holding that much. We got to end this podcast before I start saying more illegal things right around Christmas. I think this goes up on the week of Christmas. I think this goes up on the 21st.
So Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. It's been a heck of a year. And I'm glad to see it being over pretty soon. But, you know, Christmas is still nice, man. I feel like Christmas has really kind of helped bring up the mood a little bit. Just a little bit. As much as it can.
Why do people think that 2021 is going to be different? It's just going to be a continuation of 2020.
Stop bringing it down. It's trying to bring it up.
I just don't understand why, like, a date is going to, like, oh, the coronavirus is gone. No, it's like, it's going to be the same.
You have to go into every year very blind. Be like, yup, boom, January 1st, 2021, everything's going to be good again. New year.
Well, on top of that, it's not even just a new year. Like, I've had debates about this. The new decade starts in 2021. 2020 is the end of this past decade. Everyone was like, 2020, new decade. I'm like, no. It starts now. So feel free to use that to be like, this was part of the past. We're moving on to a new decade now. So set your intentions for the new decade.
Are we in the 30s right now? The 30s? Is that how decades work?
No, they go like when you're talking about like the 17th century is the 1600s.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
We're still in the 21st century. We don't really talk about decades like that.
Yeah, no. We're in the 20s.
We're in the second decade. No, we'll be finishing the second decade of the...
Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have a good holiday break. I hope you have a great new year. Thank you so much for listening to the Have Aloha Will Travel podcast this year. We will be back next year. We'll probably be back next year. I don't know. 2021, you never know. But you can always find all of our stuff on HawaiiMagazine.com. All of our social media channels are at Hawaii Magazine. If you need any real last-second Christmas presents, our Shopify account, we might be able to mail it to you really quick. I don't know, Kat. Do we have that kind of shipping capabilities? Probably not.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'll just say we are. I'm doing illegal stuff all the time now, apparently. Katrina, where can they go to find your stuff? Where can they go to find your work?
Oh, you can go to HONOLULUMagazine.com. You can see all kinds of holiday-related stuff on our website if you want. We've got gift guides, which, if there's special deals, you may have missed those, but the products themselves you can still get. Lots of great local businesses and everything on there. You can see what our staff is doing for Christmas, I believe, if I can pull together some of these web stories before this podcast goes up. You can find lots of family stuff on HonoluluFamily.com as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the magazine itself. You can read my monthly column. The December issue talks about some holiday and new stuff. So
it's one of the only things I read in Honolulu Magazine.
Hey, thank you.
It's your monthly column.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Okay. I'm going to end this podcast before I say anything bad or worse for the next year, I got to stop it now. Thank you all so much for listening. And from us to you, Mele Kaliki Maka, I don't know. I still don't know how to end a podcast after all these episodes.
Oh, we know.
I straight up just yell goodbye and close the windows when I'm done with meetings.
All right.
Just be talking and go, okay, bye.
Let's do that. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye!